So you're thinking about moving to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. In this video, I'm going to take you to 3 grocery stores, one of them being Whole Foods and 2 others, Trader Joe's as well as Publix, to show you the true cost of living in Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to show you the difference in the prices on groceries such as milk, butter, eggs. Stay tuned. If you stick around to the end, I'm also going to share with you and show you gas prices in the area. The 3 stores, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and Publix, that I'm going to be comparing in this video for you, I want to point out are very, very close to each other. Whole Foods and Trader Joe's is just within 3 blocks. They're down the street, and so is the Publix. It's another 5 blocks or so from these other 2 stores. So they're very close in destination location, so it's very easy to compare between the 3, and maybe if you want to hop, skip, jump between the stores to get the best deal, it's much easier to do so. But let's go ahead and start off with butter. I was able to find some similar items in all 3 stores, but there were some other items that I couldn't. So I did try and get the most similar or comparable items. For example, like coffee was a bit difficult, but butter, which we'll do now, I did find the brand Kerrygold, the Irish butter, at all 3 stores. So the most expensive was actually at Whole Foods at $5.49. Trader Joe's offered it for $3.99. And Publix offered it for $5 and a penny. So Trader Joe's had it significantly less by $1.50 less than Whole Foods. And it was just about a 48 cents difference between Publix and Whole Foods. They did also offer other butter such as the Earth Balance. It's similar to the Country Crock butter that Publix was offering. So for example, the Earth Balance butter, that was $8.49 at Whole Foods. Trader Joe's did also have it. They were significantly less at $4.99. I mean, at that point, it's $3.50 a difference, which is huge. But if you go to Publix and just get Country Crocks, which is similar, that is $4.59. Let's look at milk next. This is 2%. I did look at the generic store brand milks that they offered. So for example, Whole Foods, they have the 365 label. Their milk was $5.49 for a gallon. Trader Joe's, they offered their 2% milk for $4.69. And at Publix, they were $4.95. So Trader Joe's and Publix were pretty much almost the same. Whole Foods was a bit more about, depending if you compare it to Trader Joe's or Publix, you're looking between 80 to 50 cents or so difference between a gallon of 2% milk. The other brand I did compare was Horizon Organic. That's the milk that comes in a carton. Publix did have it for $5.59. You can get that same milk at Whole Foods for just 10 cents more at $5.69. Trader Joe's did not offer that, but I did locate one somewhat similar, which is the Trader Joe's organic milk. It was a bit more expensive, not a lot compared to their generic, but it was $4.99. That was kind of the closest I can get, somewhat comparison to the Horizon brand. I did also look at oat milk for anybody who doesn't necessarily drink dairy anymore. If you wanted to get oat milk at Whole Foods for a carton, that is priced at $4.99. Trader Joe's offers similar oat milk for $3.99 a carton. And Publix, they have their oat milk for $5.15. Now that was the Chobani brand, and when I was doing this video they had a 2-for-1, so if there isn't a 2-for-1 it would be more expensive at $5.15. unless of course you get it when it's a deal at the 2-for-1, then of course it's going to be less significant than the Whole Foods price or even the Trader Joe's price, which were, again, Whole Foods $4.99 and Trader Joe's was $3.99. We're looking at bread next. So for Publix, I did look, between Publix and Whole Foods, I did look at Dave's bread. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that one, but it's a heartier, more organic. It has that image of that gentleman, you know, flexing his bicep. So the Publix location does offer it for $6.79. You can get that same bread at Whole Foods for $6.99. So just a 20 cents difference, same bread, different location, Publix compared to Whole Foods. Trader Joe's does not carry Dave's bread. In fact, they don't really carry any of the similar brands or breads that either Publix or Whole Foods offers. So I was able to find something somewhat similar to Dave's bread, which was Ezekiel. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't really buy that bread. Ezekiel, but that one, they had it priced at $4.99. Somewhat similar ingredients to that Dave's bread that I was able to find. If you're not necessarily interested in that type of bread, Dave's bread, Whole Foods, as well as Publix, does have the same Nature's Own brand of bread. If you get the Nature's Own bread at Whole Foods, that is $4.39, whereas Publix, same bread, is $3.99. So for 40 cents more, you can get the same bread at Whole Foods. Next, we are looking at eggs. The eggs that I looked at Whole Foods was the Vital Farms. That's the actual farm that provides the eggs. It was in large egg because at Whole Foods they had like extra large eggs. But in this case, I was looking at the large size, and that was $8.69. You can get the same brand of eggs at Publix, and that was $9.09. Now, Trader Joe's did not have those types of eggs or the brand or anything, but I did find something similar where they were pasture raised, organic, large size. Still, we are looking at just a dozen, not 18 or anything like that. But if you went to Trader Joe's, you would be looking at $6.49 for somewhat similar type of eggs compared to the Vital Farms that they sell both at Whole Foods as well as Publix. Now, if you're not necessarily into the pasture organic and, you know, farms and everything and just want basic, inexpensive, generic brand eggs, then Whole Foods did offer their 365 label for a dozen eggs at $5.29. Trader Joe's had something similar for $3.99, and Publix also offered a generic brand at $4.99. So in this case, Trader Joe's was the least expensive out of the three, with Whole Foods just being about 30 cents more than for a dozen eggs compared to Publix. Let's look at a case of strawberries. I was able to get both organic and non-organic price for a case of strawberries in all three grocery stores. So looking at Whole Foods, if you wanted an organic case, that was just $3.86. If you wanted the regular non-organic, that was $3.69. So there really wasn't a huge difference. Sometimes it can be a difference. I've seen it where the organic is closer to $5, but in this case, they have many more strawberries, and I guess they're just kind of reducing their price on the organic to kind of get them moving. If you were to get strawberries in Trader Joe's, then the organic would be $6.49, and just the non-organic, just generic, general case of strawberries from Trader Joe's, that is $4.69. So there is a huge price difference between the organic versus non-organic in Trader Joe's. If you were to get strawberries in Publix, the organic was $5.99, whereas the regular, they did have a promotion and typically do have a 3 for $10. So in this case, $3.33 for a case of non-organic strawberries at Publix. So shockingly enough, Trader Joe's was more expensive in both categories for a case of strawberries. Organic versus non-organic. In general, the strawberries were just more expensive in Trader Joe's. So you could get a really good price at both Whole Foods and Publix for strawberries. Looking at orange juice in all three stores, Whole Foods didn't necessarily have a huge array or options in terms of organic, non-organic, or different labels. They had about the same one, but in this case, it is organic. And it's the 365 label of Whole Foods. They have their carton of orange juice for $4.69. If you were to get organic Trader Joe's orange juice for a carton, that would be $5.29. So the orange juice was less expensive in Whole Foods compared to Trader Joe's. In same situation, Trader Joe's does not have a huge array. For the most part, they were all kind of Trader Joe's brands. And if you did the non-organic Trader Joe's carton of orange juice, then that was $3.99. So yes, it was less expensive, but if you're comparing organic to organic from Whole Foods to Trader Joe's, then of course Whole Foods is less expensive by 60 cents compared to Trader Joe's. If you go to Publix and get a carton, they do have Florida's natural orange juice in a carton, and that was $4.39. So in terms of value, the Whole Foods organic orange juice is pretty good. Looking at a 12-ounce bag of coffee between Publix and Whole Foods, I was able to find a couple similar brands. For example, Peet's Coffee. If you were to get whether it's dark roast, French roast, medium roast, in that bag of beans, grounded beans, then Publix offered it for $11.29. If you got the same bag at Whole Foods, that would be $12.79. So, so that would be the difference between those two. Now at Publix, I did locate Starbucks, same 12 ounce, that was $13.29. Whole Foods, of course, does not have Starbucks, and they were kind of limited. It was a very small section I had to pick from. So I did look at their own label, the 365, also 12-ounce bag of grounded coffee beans. That was $8.69. So that was less expensive looking at the Peet's Coffee or looking at the Starbucks coffee. When I went to Trader Joe's, even smaller selection of coffee. They didn't have any similar labels compared to Publix or Whole Foods. And they didn't even have 12-ounce bags. They had 14-ounce bags. So I kind of had to look at that. If you got the organic Trader Joe's grounded coffee, that is $8.99. Again, 14-ounce bag. If it's a non-organic Trader Joe's 14-ounce, that was significantly less. That was only $4.99. They offered French roast as well, and that was $6.49. So if you're not necessarily into a particular brand such as Peet's or Starbucks, then you can get some great inexpensive coffee, even organic, from Trader Joe's. If you have found any of this information valuable, then I invite you to subscribe down below and tap the bell for notifications so that way you're notified next time I put another video out about Fort Lauderdale, living here, moving here, relocating here, or maybe even the surrounding areas. Feel free to call me, text me, shoot me an email, anyone, myself, or on my team, so that way we can help you make a smooth move to Fort Lauderdale. Now let's get on to the gas station prices. So I am at 7-Eleven. I actually had to pull over next to the gas tank because they only have a sign in the front that is the regular unleaded for $3.49 a gallon. But I just wanted to show you. So it's $3.49 for regular unleaded, $3.94 for mid-grade unleaded, and $4.24 for the super premium unleaded. They do not have diesel at this location, the 7-Eleven, but those are the prices for 7-Eleven. Off of Sunrise Boulevard and Bayview, actually right in front of the Galleria Mall. I'm going to go to 3 other gas stations, so stay tuned for those prices. Alright, so I am at Shell, located on Sunrise Boulevard next to Holiday Park here in Fort Lauderdale. So the regular gas is $4.17. The plus is $4.87 a gallon. And then the premium is $5.07 a gallon. They do have diesel here. Diesel, you would be looking at $5.87. Now let's go to another gas station. So we are at Wawa. They do have lots of options in terms of gas. They offer their regular at $3.27 a gallon. They do have the plus at $3.62 a gallon, the premium at $3.77 a gallon, and then super at $3.92 a gallon. They also have diesel here for $4.25 a gallon. This location is on Sunrise Boulevard near the 95 freeway. Let's go check out the last gas station in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, so this is the last stop, the last gas station. This is Cumberland. It's also located on Sunrise Boulevard. What's interesting is I'm taking you through 4 different gas stations along the same street, and you can see for yourself the difference in the prices between all of them. So this is Cumberland. The pricing for regular is $3.34. The plus is $3.74. The super is $4.09 a gallon, and they do offer diesel at $4.05 a gallon.